Okay, so thank you. I would like to introduce our panel. So to my left, it's Klára Kitto, who has played one of the Amerikánka characters. Welcome. Klára has done an amazing job, and we will talk a little bit about how she got involved in the project. To my right is Cristina Martinovichova, who is a wonderful choreographer, dancer, actress. She holds multiple awards for her performances, including, I think, the Best Slovak Dance Group Award, and has been involved in the project from the very, very beginning. Next to Cristina, welcome. Next to Cristina is Jan Kadlec, a set designer, production designer, costume designer, but also more importantly visual artist, who has been, as you heard from Viktor in his introduction, a long-term friend and collaborator on the Viktor Taus creative journey. And a warm welcome to Lucie Zácková. Lucie, as you have seen, plays the mother of Amerikánka. She's a phenomenal actress who works along theater and film. She has the Thalia Award, the Czech Lion Award. Basically, she has the whole, in America you would say the whole trio, like Tony, Emmy, Oscar. So we're very, very proud to have her here. Thank you. And on my very, very far right is Lola Votrubová, who is our wonderful collaborator at the Czech Center, also an artistic soul, and today in the role of the translator and interpreter for Lucie. I don't know actually where to start this Q&A. It's quite a challenging film. I was thinking throughout about what you were told by Klára and Viktor, that you should just watch it and not try to understand it. I think it's quite a challenging thing to demand the audience to do. So maybe we can start with the basics. And that is America. The character wants to go back to America, and now you are here. How do you like it?
I love it. I always wanted to go to America, and it was like this place that you can reach, like that I never can go here, but I'm here now. It's so cool, and I can't believe it, actually.
And for you, for the others, have you been having a good time, or what?
Yeah. Maybe I can talk just loud. Is it okay? Yeah. It's maybe even better. So I love to be here with the kids. We are here with the whole cast. They're tired, so they went sleeping now. But because I can experience America through their eyes, so it's so much fun. Because they see everything, like, because I've been here 10 years ago, so that was me doing this, and now I can do it again with them. Like, we love it here. New York is beautiful, and yeah, so picturesque for us.
I can just support it. I agree, because during those few days we did some kind of like a punky shooting, punk shooting on the some outside, for which is, I think it's better or not? What's better, this or this? This. Okay, sorry, because for us it's a little bit noisy from the back. So we did some few shooting outside, and the experience which we had, because we were walking, what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow is like we were presented here another show. It's like a musical, and it's like this is a story based on the true story, but the kids which are acting there, anyways, doesn't work. So, so you see, hello, you see, magic. Yes, I prefer about. Okay. So in the movie there, they are acting the characters, but the play, the musical is about them. So they explain their own story, and it's we call its names the Snowflakes, and has some particular. I designed also the set and the costumes, and we did some outside shooting. So with those costumes, especially with the costumes which the Lucie is wearing, something that looks like a pope or cardinal, and the the reactions, or I don't know, generally the feelings what we had from the outside was unbelievable. I think we will never have in Europe. So for me, those few days was something that you have to be very lucky, because I think Europe is stuck somewhere frozen in a history, and it's going to be on the way to be next the Dusty Pyramid. So I don't know. So for us it was great. So yeah, that's it. So yes.
Jo. Omluvte mě, že nemluvím anglicky, omlouvám se. Bylo to stejné jako natáčení filmu a zkoušení inscenace. Prostě takový jsme vytvořili společenství, ve kterém to bouchá, ve kterém se máme rádi a ve kterém zažíváme neskutečné věci společně.
So Lucia apologizes for not being able to express this in English, but she was saying that being here in person to do this live show, as well as doing this movie, was really about creating an incredible community that has a lot of kind of power and energy, and that it generates a really incredible experience.
Yes, okay. Thank you for that. So we have all this talent here. Like among these people who are here with us, there are many other people connected to the film who are in the audience. Like, for example, people there in the back. Hello. And please applaud them, because it's such a vibrant. I have been reading interviews with Viktor. That's what I wanted to say. So of all the people who are not here is the director of the film, Viktor Taus, who couldn't come, who we miss sincerely. It's his labor and also his vision to have this performance and these screenings in the US. So, you know, like in our hearts, it's, what is it in Prague? Maybe like 4 a.m. So let's just think of him for a bit and say hello in our spirit. And in one of his interviews, he says that this the story, as you know, is inspired by a true story. So that the film is inspired by a real encounter that Viktor had with the woman, the character of Amerikánka, the girl America. I'm sure Cristina and Jan will talk a bit more about that, but it's a story that happened in real life in the streets of Prague, where both of these people were in a low abyss of their lives, struggling with life on the streets and addictions. And suddenly this story was told to Viktor Taus, the director, who has said in this interview that it is a story, it is a personal story, but then the question of art is, how do you portray the story? One of these portrayals is the film, but also the story is portrayed through 2 theatrical performances, and also, I believe, a book by the screenwriter David Jařab. And my question to maybe Cristina and Jan is, so what is this actually? Are we watching a film, or are we watching something that is bigger?
You're watching both. You're watching both. So the first of all, some part is audiovisual, but it makes some wave. The reaction, you know, the open discussion of the problem of the orphan intensive in the Czech Republic, and then I don't know. It's also for personal for the Victor. I think finished some circle of his the process of this where the problem starts. I don't know, 20 years ago. So maybe he's closed this story now, and then also for the main character that you know, the story which was which this lady explained, Victor, my friend, 30 years ago, was quite different. Well, because she was a kid when she came to as an American girl, she came to the Czech Republic, and she remembered as a kid something. So when she met a Victor, she explained the story as a way that looks a little bit black and white. So the mother was really bad guy, and the movie there exists billions of versions, And then we were in Florida, where we met the family because they escaped from the Czech Republic. They were going to they were part of the circus family, especially Valendan, this phenomenal Valendas. So, and we were there, spent, I don't know, 3 weeks, and it was fantastic. But then we understand, maybe if you're not part of the family, if you're not part of the circus family, they will never accept you. So maybe something's happened there. So we were doing some more analysis and think about it. Maybe something was wrong or something. And then the story was rewrite. And this is it's I don't know, it's a 10th or 15th version of the basic story, which is completely different. It's a fiction that she believes that she is from America. So what I want to say that because each the script I visually form everything I know the Viktor almost 20 years, so everything what he's doing I take the responsibility for the visuality. And so for this Amerikánka, like a phenomenon, the name, the movies, so billions of these scripts, I design for each one. I design a big mood board, so it's a lot of versions. And for this one, the last one, as all the procedures, so we did some kind of the anthropology of this fictive character, and we find maybe what's to the problem something. So on the end, for for this main original character, we also analyze what was happened in her life, which she doesn't know that, because she knows this only from even that she's still in a contact with the mother, but it's quite weird contact. So logically, so we just analyze this and to show her how it was and something. So it's not only the movie. So the movie's open discussion about the problem of the kids, then make something in the Viktor's lives, and especially helps to the original person to find the way back, to understand what was happened, because she was she lives, I don't know, 30 years or more, even 40 years in some pain, and she didn't understand. So we did this job to spy what was happening inside, because we did it not as an attraction to find what we don't care, but you have to understand. If you like to formulate a character, you have to understand what is it, how it is. So yes. Something more? Yes.
Well, as far as I know Viktor, he's so open to the process. I've never met any director like that, it's almost like crazy, because he let actors, he let things happen, and he works with it like now and here. He's very, very open, he makes very safe space, and as the process went through the years, the script changed. They found out the new layers of how can tell the story, and now where the process took us is that actually the law is changing in our country, or we are about to help to change the system a little bit with the orphanages, because it's a bit old-fashioned. There's gonna be less kids for one teacher or caretaker. We're gonna have some changes that are really necessary in our country to be made, and we didn't plan anything. It found us, like politicians found us to be like, oh, actually maybe this something can change. So it's a process that takes, I don't know, 20 years for Viktor. It changes his life, his own story. It changes the stories of people around him. A real Amerikánka is, as Honza said, she could come to a certain closure. She understood her mother through the portrayal of the mother. It's so many layers, but I've never met someone so open to the process. I don't know if it sounds too metaphorical, but the process of, he's like, okay, so maybe I don't have to think it through to the 100%. Maybe I let things and people come into my life and let it, and then the kids change lots of things. Maybe Honza will tell you, like, they had to reshoot the first week because their energy and their approach, they were like, okay, so maybe we have to shoot it differently now. So it was like so many variables, and because Viktor is such an open person and incredible, he trusts the process. So it became so much bigger than we maybe eventually thought it will be.
Yeah, because one of the things is you didn't really start with casting, right? The way that all the actors involved in the film was through workshops and through getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And that's how you applied, no? Klára, how did you get involved in the project?
I went to casting and then I moved on, and then we had workshops with Cristina and Lucia and Pavla, and we learned how to be together, how to have a safe place, and after that we started filming.
And that was your first film project, Amerikánka?
Yes, that's my first film.
Yesterday you told us it was your grandfather.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about him? Like, why did he think you would be good for that? Or...
He always thought that I would be an actress, but I was shy when I was smaller. And then I became not too shy. I became more like extroverted, and I wanted to act like somewhere. And I loved doing like some dance shows for my family or something, and they were like, "Oh, you should be an actress." I'm like, "No, I don't want to be an actress." But then, and my grandfather, he applied me to this casting because he knows the lady who owns the casting company. So he thought I would be good for the role, and I got it, so I'm really happy for that.
It's wonderful. Maybe a question for Jan or Cristina. Emma, the original character, the real woman, how much was she involved in the production? Have you met her, or was she part of the shooting?
Part of she's acting there for one scene. She's in the kitchen, the lady in the kitchen, that's the real person. And she created a story, so that's how she was involved. So she was not on the set all the day or something. She was just like watching from the long distance. So because it's the real life for her. So I think for her was also difficult to see the first screening. You know, it's the real life. So. But we twisted, and we make some like a metaphor. That's why we decided to do it not as a social drama. So, and we quit all the, let's say, the real steps, something, which is going some emotional way. But anyways, for her, it's very connected. So.
She was the lady in the kitchen. But also she spent some time with us on the set, and she was talking to the kids. They were so curious about her life and what really happened in the juvie. So her stories were really important for them to feel connected and to feel what she really went through. And it was much worse in the juvie, in the real life, than it's portrayed here. Or at least what she told us, it was like crazy stories, very crazy. So she was involved as Dena, as a person, not as a creator, but someone who went through the story. And for us it was important to stay in touch and to talk to kids and have her involved.
You met, right? Was it important for you? And
Yeah, we met, and yeah, it was important to me. And I actually met her almost at the end of filming, because I didn't film, I didn't act in the juvie part. So, but I was on the set, but I don't think I was there the same day that she was there. But it's really cool to meet the person that like you're acting in real life. It's like I don't like, she has this like inner can you see like inner power that's like so strong, and she she made it through all of the bad things, and she's my idol. She's so cool.
Super. We will open questions to audience. I just have one last one for Lucia. I was asking you yesterday about portraying the mother, and then I was researching a little bit more in your interviews, and I found this quote because yesterday you were telling us that you were playing this parent that you don't want to be, but that you ultimately are. So maybe the first part of the question is if you can talk a little bit more in depth about this, and then my second question is connected to a quote you have in an interview that you felt humbled by the kids and their stories. Já to řeknu jenom česky, že vlastně v jednom rozhovoru říkáte o tom, jak vlastně se cítila v jeden moment až zbytečná vůči těm zkušenostem těch dětí, kterými jste procházeli vlastně vy všichni, když jste ten film dělali.
To jsem asi měla takový období, no, že jsem si připadala zbytečná, jinak ne, ale to tak někdy mám takový vlny, ale, nebo každý máme, ale ptala jste se i na tu matku? Jo, že jsme včera vlastně mluvili o tom, že ta matka je pro mě ta část, kdy člověk nechce jako být takovým člověkem, ale zároveň si je vědomý, že tam někde v hloubi za nějakou stěnou stojí a takový je. Takže to je takový proces toho sebepoznávání nebo nějak se srovnat tady s touhle částí sebe sama. Já jsem asi nepochopila tu otázku.
So just to translate, it was a very humbling experience to work with these kids and to experience their lived experiences with them, and really what it was truly like playing this mother and playing this character who was ultimately someone who I never want to be, did at the same time involve having to kind of come to terms with the fact that I had this character inside of me, and that behind some sort of wall there was this mother that I could be, that I could become, but I knew I didn't want to be her. So that was something that I really had to come to terms with during the process of making this film.
Jestli můžu doplnit, že prostě si dokážu představit situace, ve kterých se budu chovat stejně nebo mnohem hůř.
And at the same time, I can, of course, imagine situations in which I would react completely the same way, or even way worse.
Jan, you were, and you mentioned it today as well, but you mentioned that this film is in a way a reconciliation. It's a story, the film is portrayed as a story of strength and resilience of this character, but it's also maybe a story of reconciliation between the character and the mother.
Yes. Of course. Yes, of course. Yeah, definitely. So, well, that's the scene where she quit to take her daughter back home, to understand what's the problem, to analyze this. And also you can find in the set on the beginning that you see the on her apartment there is this one of the mice artifact inside is bad, the kid's bed, I call fake. It's like the problems of the layers of the problem. So it means that maybe, which it's not written in the script. This is what you have to create to understand. The script is written. This is apartment of the mother where the kid lives, but you have to understand what's the problem and the support to the story. So it's showing that maybe can happen something in her life. So maybe parents divorced or something. She knows maybe in some moment the family was closed and she doesn't know how to continue. So, and when she's adult, she has her own family, she reached this point and then she has to go once again because she doesn't know how to continue, and then she starts to be like a perpetuum mobile in some circle. The daily she's going out looking for, so maybe she has her own pain. So that's and this is, let's say, if you're asking me about the relationship or what's the analysis during this fictive character as mother and the daughter, so that definitely is there. But my responsibility is also to understand her, and that's what I said in the beginning. This anthropology, or to the possibility to understand her, helps the original person that she found her mother, because nobody did the analysis. She was. It's difficult to make from your point of view to understand who is your mother. So it has to be somebody else who did spend a lot of time to understand and then make visually. So formulate a picture. Okay, that can be like this is the way or something. And on the end, maybe we did right because I think a few hours before the first screening premiere, we had just some coffee and something, we talk, and we never talk about this, and then I started to talk about this, and I said, I did it like this, you know, I didn't want to show your mother black and white, even that your first script was like this, you hate her or something, and and then I said, I'm definitely sure that when the mother takes all the kids and brings her to the plane from Florida direction to Czechoslovakia, she fell down. She ruined all the world, and she know it. Then she's going down and down, start to be addicted to drugs, alcohol, or something, and she forget the kids in her apartment. And she said, unbelievable, because the week, say, first time in her life that she's very sorry that she took the kids to the Czechoslovakia. It was her problem. Maybe she has to leave from the America, not to take the kids. They were Americans. So yes, that's some kind of the deep analysis. What's the mother, the response was something, and this is the very strong moment when she decided to. When she came to the second time, when she's going back to the orphanage in this metaphorically costume, the red costume, which is formulated, she's a slave. She works like a prostitute. It means like maybe she has like a nice, sparkling, colorful life, full of money, but very toxic. So it means she's a slave of somebody or something. So, and then she see that the little daughter doesn't react to that she's a mother. She just see the shine, the colors of this world, and she say, okay, this is wrong. I cannot take her because maybe she will follow me, and the story will continue. So yes, definitely. Sorry.
Do you have any questions for our friends here?
Oh, well, thank you. I wanted to ask if you visited the real orphanage or a Jewy as part of the research for doing the film.
Well, I didn't, but maybe Honza will tell.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. We saw, but it's a different world, you know, and we discovered, because this is one of the concepts to understand of my visuality of the movie, some kind key of the understanding. I call it like a concept. It's the reconstruction of the childhood memories, which is reconstructed by the old woman. And also, as all those memories, we remember some just like colors, the structure, or I don't know, smell, sense, whatever. And on this, we start to build it back to reconstruction. So you have to think it's only she was a kid at that time. So definitely, even that she wasn't Jewish, whatever. So it doesn't look like how you see it now. The feelings were different. So completely unsympathetic place you can find as a kid. Oh, was fine, was nice. So I have friends there, was not bad. So we saw everything, but it will go different way, and was not our point to go that way to make a social drama. The story is enough strong and heavy. So, and we decided to follow the line of the kids to understand how maybe how they can list the memories of the kid. So we saw, but it's different, and I'm sure that will be different movie.
Well, I was lying. We were visiting kids in the orphanages, of course, not because we wanted to portray one-to-one, like the same, but because they were a huge part of the the workshops, and we were visiting them in their orphanages. So we know how it works for real. We know what's still the same for 25 years. But the issue was we didn't, or director and Honza didn't want to portray it as a social realism. It was more important about the reconstruction of how they felt, and maybe for you to portray, maybe for you to feel closer. Viktor usually says during these Q&As that this world invites you more, and you can be like, if you would see something like a realistic orphanage, maybe you would feel like, oh, this wouldn't happen to me, or my kids would never get there. But because it is not like a realistic drama, then maybe you can feel more connected to it. More you can, and that's another important thing. I think the audience is a part of the movie. You portray yourself into this history of emotions. So maybe that's why it's not realistic, or it wasn't the aim to be realistic.
No,
concept.
you can do it. You can do it. You can go that way, but that was not a topic. So I would say that the audiovisual is not a reconstruction of this kind of the era, or supported by the Daleks. For those we have museums, documentaries, or Wikipedia to show. If you want to see, you will find on the Google. But this is not the point. You have to find what's the message. And the message was talking with something different. So my duty was not to make a reconstruction, maybe how it really looks. You can find on the Wikipedia or internet this. So I had to follow the line of the story, and the story was telling something different. So, and that's it. That's the formulation of the visual of the movie and telling the story.
Did we answer?
Maybe is there a follow-up question here?
And many people in the audience who are younger are like, why Italian? Why did you choose Italian? So quick explanation, because during communism it was the only foreign music we could listen to, and it was usually connected to circus or those, wee, you know, I don't know how you call it.
No. This is what Viktor said, but it's connected to it's some kind of the connection, but the main value, it's some kind of the feelings of the freedom, you know.
Yes.
And this is the important. So not the connection that it's right that all the properties originally came from the Italy, because it's connected to the real story. That's right, absolutely. But not to explain the emotion as a movie. Okay.
Yeah, but the emotion was like, wow, the happy one connected with the circus, and not the circus, how do you call it?
Amusement park.
Amusement parks. Yeah, so it is emotional line in the movie, or the layer, which Honza said, but like I also didn't know, like, why Italian? It's amazing, but why? And yeah, so it was.
Yes.
Maybe are there other questions?
Hi. First of all, great job, you guys. The use of color seemed very intentional throughout the film, and I was hoping you could elaborate on the decision-making process to choose blue or pink or red for certain scenes, certain blocks.
I didn't hear well, but why we choose this color? So I would say yes. So each color has some meaning, so some sense, and as I said, so as this memory stuck in the memory of the kid, so maybe was okay. So for example, the violet color means in the language of colors, meaning somebody's looking for love, which he never found. So it's also the way how to understand the director, because she spent this fictive character spent in this movie all the life for the they take care about the kids, and maybe she have some. Normally in the real world, maybe she have some, maybe one button, you know, some. She would like violet, but she will not wear like a uniform or something, and because the kid, she remembered this, so and was she was so strong person. And as like a parents, but they always say this is wrong, you cannot do this, because she tried to educate them, and of course logically they hate her. So in this reconstruction, because she has to go to chronologically to build this puzzle together, she starts on the beginning, and this memory maybe she remember her as like a person which is like very cruel, not so nice to them, screaming something, and that means that the violet was everywhere. On the end, when she's come back, you see just like a violet curtain and the kids going through, which is a metaphor that then she see, oh no, she's here for the kids, so they can do what they want, and it's just a dress. I don't know. Also the post-production, the colors have some meaning. I don't know, black and white or the negative. So black and white is belongs to Velvet Revolution, and the 80% of the documents from this era is we have only black and white photos or some very bad quality desaturated video records. So no colors. So if you would like to talk about or you would like to spy, you will find only that way. So that's why I decide this is the reconstruction, because also I was born in '76, so I remember, but I wasn't there as a kid. So everything what I remember is black and white from this era. So and for example, on negative means that she discovered that maybe this scene was the one of the problematic moment, and she doesn't want to print this picture. So I said it's same that if you find in the house of your parents behind the furniture some negative the film, maybe that's maybe have some sense why they didn't make a photo from this. So you will also not follow this. You will not make a picture from this. So everything is like kind of the metaphor and going to this kind of the analyzing. Yes, all has some meaning. Or in the beginning, the kind of the Technicolor, even though they didn't have a Technicolor Czechoslovakia, but it belongs to this period for you or something. And especially when I saw one of the first photo of the original family, which Viktor showed me, on the top was dominate the color, this kind of the colorful Technicolor photos of the family from Florida, and it stuck in my memory. And then I said, okay, it has to be the first one. Plus, it's very colorful, so playful for all the clothes, and also the clothes, the dress, the costumes which are designed in this moment is some. Now I completely go away from your question, but maybe we'll be connected. It's some. It's also the concept that the problem of these kids, why they start to be work on the street or something. Nobody educate them, nobody explain them what will happen after. When they will be 18, they will go out, they will kick them out, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what they receive some money and they were going to bakery and buy all the breads because nobody tell them, but tomorrow they will be dry. And the same way, they don't know how to manage the money, nothing. And this is a metaphor of something that you bring the container, leave it on the floor, and nobody tell them how to use the dress. So they use the trousers on the head or something. It's some way to metaphor. They were not educated, and they were just losing. Okay, it belongs to me. It's my character. Maybe I will design myself like this. So, so there is no, as I said on the beginning, there is no any mannerism. So it's everything has some sense, and we can stop frame by frame, and I will explain you each layer what it means, what color it means, why this props, what it means, and when will it be connected, what, etc. Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I answer?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Towards the end of the film, here, by the way, is the mic working? I can't really tell. Okay. So towards the end of the film, there was the boxer dad, right? I think we saw Emma. Emma was the name of the daughter, right? Or one of the daughters. There was the boxer dad who was doing the same pose as like Rocky, I think, from the movie. What was the connection between like Rocky and the dad besides just them both being boxers? Like because
it's a fiction. That's the fiction because on the end of the movie, that it's about there is another like hidden message there. It's about the hope and belief to something, and the brother that when he knows that he has to leave the orphanage, he knows what will happen, and she has to give her some hope. So she takes some photo or whatever from a magazine and said, "This is our father," and she doesn't know who it is. It's just like she believed long period. I don't know, spent another 12 years in the orphanage. And then she discovered that it's not a father, it's just like a public person. It's like, it's an actor. And but it's not finished, because normally you would say, okay, the story is finished, but the life is continuing. So, so she probably has to build another, like a hope or something. That's on the end, or she's sitting with the son, another child, which is not her child, from neighbor or something. And then the girl said, okay, but my mother is not, blah, 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 what she said there. And she said, okay, I have to do the same as my brother did for me. So she said, okay, maybe your mother is going some, I don't know, some cloud or something. And this is the moment why the little Emma leaving her, because now she understands and she found a way. The way how to survive is we need to have some hope and to believe to something. Even that we found it's important to believe to something.
I wanted to ask maybe a quick follow-up question, two actually. For Cristina, the first one, if you can briefly talk about, you mentioned that sort of by coincidence or accident, this film became a trigger for social change, for some political engagement. It became a social critique, albeit starting as an art film. So what are your next steps in this? Is there something happening? Is this something you as a team of creators will continue to do? Are there NGOs that you want to work with? Is there a message that this film will now be like a bigger part of?
Well, one part is this trip here, because our claim is the kids' American dream of the kids is to find their home in Czechia. So we are doing a little bit PR here, doing little performances, shooting videos, and we use it as a PR and press back home in Czechia. There is definitely something, I don't know the exact translation, but ombudsmanka pro lidská práva, nebo zverenkyňa. It's a political position that it's take cares of the rights for the kids. Did something in our
advocate?
In our government, yes, advocate, and they already like voted for changes. So it's ongoing change we're doing. We're doing the PR so more people know about it. Viktor is doing this Q&A in the schools. Actually, it seems like now we have more students that seen the movie than public. It's like a huge, like osveta.
Yeah, like awareness raising.
Awareness raising, where we like, and this topic, it was really by accident, but I feel like this girl America became something that is out of our control now. It's just growing. Yes, it's growing, it's going its own way. Maybe we thought it's gonna be in Cannes and, you know, all this spotlights, but it's going through the important routes.
But definitely it's open a lot of, let's say, hidden part, which nobody knows. It will be not easy to change, because then it's like a kind of the corruption. So it was open that, I don't know, also the orphanage received the money from the kids. No, we are talking to close the orphanage. You know, I think the Czech Republic is the last country which they have them. But then you discovered they live from this, and there is some stinky things in the politics. Then you have to manage as like, you know, the fish is always stink from the head. So, and mainly they came from the Gypsy community. But now we are talking about something different. But it's not easy to just like the change. It's only open a lot of doors, and you see, oh, that's it's not so clear. But the problem is on the end. The kids are virgin and they have to live this because it's a corruption, and everybody lives. Well, so also the parents, Honestly, the gypsy parents discovered that's why they produce the kids, because they receive the money from the government.
What I personally like about one of the things that probably will happen, and I don't know the exact translation, but terenichova, it's like nanny in the field nanny, because the problem stems, sometimes it happens, like the problem is why kids go to the orphanages, and sometimes because parents just, I don't know, one of them lose the job and then they cannot handle the kids, they're finding the new job, and suddenly, things happens and they end up in the orphanages. But with these...
but it's some small percentage.
Well, but I personally, I like it that it's happening.
No, I think that where it's happened, the biggest one, it came from this community, and the problem has to be, on the other hand, solved on the beginning there.
Yeah, it's much bigger problem. It's
very difficult, because in the 50s, the communism decided to quit this culture of the gypsies, and one day they cut all the wheels from these tracks or something, and they bring them to the home. They say, no, you have to be one of us. But they completely destroy the culture, and now they don't have anymore the connection that, I don't know, in England somewhere they have these camps or something, they do this culture, they live there, but now they are quite lost. They don't know how to live in our world, and that's what also the communism destroyed them. So we have to understand also them. So somebody,
So at the moment, as far as I know, there are some over 6,000 kids living in these children's homes. One of the problems that they face afterwards is inclusion in the society. And some of these children told their stories, I believe, during the preparation of Amerikánka, the workshops you have done. And many of their stories have resulted in a separate theater piece, Snowflakes, which we are presenting here tomorrow, and where Klára also stars. Maybe can we wrap up with you inviting us to Snowflakes?
Yeah, you should come. It's like an acting show. It's really cool. Yeah, you should see it.
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming. We can continue the conversation outdoors with some water, wine, beer. Thank you for staying with us. And thank you, guys.